And hello, welcome to Cooking with Chef Jim Bob. I'm the better looking brother of your good friend Jimbo from the show State Team Sports that him and his friend King have on Wednesdays. Jimbo came to me and said that he wanted to do a cooking episodes, and I told him no, he's not good at cooking. Not good at cooking. I'm the better family member at cooking, so I told him I would take the cooking episodes over. And these first few episodes are going to be NFL inspired tailgating food, game day food that you might want to cook at your house for the family, the friends, and so today I will be cooking Kansas City Chief style ribs. Um, I'll actually be smoking them. You could cook them in the oven, but I much rather it smoked. So let's get into it here. So first thing you want to do is uh, this white film here. You want to get that off of the ribs. Otherwise, if you leave it on there, it after it gets smoked or grilled, however you're going to cook it, it becomes very tough and kind of takes away from the flavors. This way, the smoke, the seasonings go throughout the whole ribs, not just the top, the meaty part. So we want to make sure we get all of it off as much as you could. I mean, some of it is going to stay on there. That's going to happen. So I got the one done. Now I'm going to start this other one here. And as you can see, I already have some of my spices to make my rub. After we get this in the smoker, I'm actually going to make a Kansas City style barbecue sauce. Now, as far as what method I use for smoking, I use the 3-2-1 method, which is 3 hours of smoke, 2 hours wrapped, and in that last hour, you put whatever kind of barbecue sauce you want on it in the smoker for that last hour. Trim this a little bit here. All right. Now, when you're handling seasons, obviously, wash your hands. Make sure you dry them off. So that way the seasonings won't clump up on you. I try to keep one hand dry, one hand put the rub on. So I got my little bowl here. First thing we're going to do is half a cup of brown sugar. Do my measuring cup here. Actually, you know what? Go in my little gadgets of my drawer of all my little gadgets. My half cup measuring cup. Kind of redundant by saying that. And this is my first time ever doing a live or a recording of cooking, so gotta get used to staying in the camera angle so you're not just looking at my belly. Especially with brown sugar, you gotta make sure you get all the air out. Otherwise, it goes bad. It gets rock hard. Over here. Then we're going to use a 1/4 cup of paprika. I have my little cooking book right here because, I'm older, so I can't remember everything. Pretty big cooking book. It's a bunch of recipes that I've collected over the 30 years of me cooking, 30 years of cooking experience, I guess you would say. Put that in there. And I always like to, when I'm done using that particular season, put them off to the side so I don't reuse it. So that way I know I did use it. 1 tablespoon of black pepper. That's a good thing about rubs, is very quick and easy to put together. 1 tablespoon of kosher salt. 1 tablespoon of chili powder. 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. I love garlic, but who doesn't? And I had just enough garlic powder. Probably more of a 3/4 tablespoon of garlic powder, but gotta get more of that. I'll get that today. 1 tablespoon of onion powder. And then almost broke my cardinal rule. 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Now, I follow what I put in there. It's not too bad as far as spice, but if you're not a big spice fan, just do a 1/2 teaspoon. It'll still have that little bit of kick, and still have that flavor. Then I seal it up, or you could get a whisk and mix it all together. You may have to get a fork because I hear a couple clumps of brown sugar in there. Want to make sure you break those up, because the brown sugar obviously gives it the sweet taste, the sweet seasoning of it. If there's a little clumps, that's fine. Just make sure that the bigger ones are out of there. Give it one last little shake, and then we will start putting the seasoning on these. Usually just grab a handful to start. Since you got a lot of it, of the rub, I usually go kind of overboard with it. Make sure it's really on there. And as far as the seasoning, you could actually, as long as you have it in a air-sealed, tight container, it's good for up to 6 months. If it's rock hard the next time you use it, just give it a little shake, should break up. I've heard of tricks that you could actually throw it in the microwave or to heat it up a little bit, because it's I'm pretty sure it's pretty much like the brown sugar is what makes it clump up. And by heating it up, you're kind of almost caramelizing the sugar. Now, I will say about these episodes, if you're looking for like a Gordon Ramsay style garlic aioli or whatever they call them sometimes, you ain't gonna find it here. This is your Joe Schmo cooking style of sports food. I don't want to say it's completely NFL, but if you've watched your good friend Jimbo and King, they are heavy in the to football, but obviously some hockey, some baseball. I know King's been watching a lot of basketball these playoffs. He's been really into it with the Knicks doing good. And I'll make sure everything is covered with this rub. So it looks like we're good there. Give a little wash to your hands. Get all those seasonings and sugars and all that stuff off your fingers. Because the next thing, like I said, I'm smoking it. I'll show you what I use as far as grates. I have a Masterbuilt smoker. Been smoking for, I don't know, 2017, so about 8 years now. I bought this a few years ago. It's the best investment I ever did. So what it does is it ensures that the smoke goes straight up both sides, equal on both sides, not more one on the top and or the bottom. I think I paid like 15 bucks for it on Amazon. Well worth the money. And all you do is just slide it in there, just like so. And as far as wood chips, I'm using cherry wood chips. I found with this it gives it the sweeter smell. I originally did hickory, but it was okay. Cherry's a lot better for this though. So I'm gonna go put this in the smoker. I will be back in about 3 hours. I'll bring them up, show them before I wrap them, and then we'll go from there. Be right back. Okay, so we got the ribs in the smoker, smoking for 3 hours. Then we'll bring them in, wrap them for 2, and then barbecue sauce for the last hour. So while we're waiting for the ribs, I'm gonna make the Kansas City barbecue sauce. Yeah, 14-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. Kind of a big one by accident, so I got eyeball. With all the ingredients in. Yeah, a little more than 14 ounces. Yeah. With all the ingredients in together. First, 1 cup of ketchup. So like I did with the spice, and I'll put all these ingredients over there if I want to use them. Put that in there. But I can just spatula. And all that stuff out. Get the wash this out. While I'm doing this, if you like these videos that I do, make sure you click like and subscribe to the channel for my brother, good friend Jimbo, and King.
share them out to your families, friends, people you hate, no matter. I want you to share it out for us. Alright, so I got the ketchup in there. Then we need 3/4 of brown sugar. It's a 1/4 cup, so I'll say we'll do 3 of these. Then we are going to put half cup of apple cider. Make sure you get a little shake so you get all that stuff that's on the bottom there mixed together. So be a half cup. Put that in there. And a half cup of molasses. Hope I have enough. Looks like I'll have just enough. I'll use that. Another good thing about the apple cider being there first, it helps the molasses come out a little quicker. Alright, now we need paprika, which is going to be 1 tablespoon. Now this recipe has that smoked paprika, but I just use regular paprika. It still tastes just as good. One tablespoon of salt. Two teaspoons of cracked pepper. This one I just kind of eyeball. Substandard, trying to crack it into a teaspoon. That looks about right. After the cracked pepper, we've got chili powder, which will be 1 teaspoon. Then 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, which just brought before. Then we need 1 teaspoon of onion powder. Half teaspoon of red pepper flakes. And we kind of get a little kick to it. And a half teaspoon of brown mustard. Now, I put these all together first. Work them up. Now we're not much to keep up with it because the next step is turn it on, bring it to a boil, and you're going to turn the heat down. Once that boil, you're going to turn the heat down to low and let it simmer for about 20 minutes. So we'll get this boiling now. So we're waiting for it to heat up. Grab our whisk. Combine all the ingredients. Molasses, I think, definitely gives the dark color of barbecue sauce. As you see, your vegetables bring those pieces in, so you won't scratch around the ground for them. Alright, so we're going to wait to roast to a boil. I'm going to kind of clean up a little bit here. Couple things about the ribs I forgot to mention earlier. Every 20 minutes, half hour, I usually go out, spray some apple cider on, spritz it. It helps keep them moist. Helps them from not drying out. As far as how much smoke you want, if you're using a smoker, that's totally up to you how much of the vent you want to open or closed. I like a lot of smoke, so I keep the vents closed for the 3 hours. But other than that, like I said, we're just going to wait for this to come to a boil. I keep stirring every so often so it doesn't burn to the bottom of the saucepan. And then once this is done, like I said, we're going to simmer for 20 minutes. After that 20 minutes, take it off the heat or a different part of the stove, let it cool off. You can use it right then, or I've had it in the fridge for a few weeks, like a month or so. And it's one of those that the longer it stays in the fridge, the better it gets. It lets those seasons or spices come together, just like the Beatles come together. So, that'll be it for right now. I'm going to finish this, like I said, just going to bring it to a boil. As my alarm went off to let me know I got to take the meds. I'm going to bring this to a boil, simmer for 20 minutes, let it cool off. When it's time for me to bring the ribs in to wrap, I'll show you guys what it looks like and how I do it when it comes to wrapping them. So, see you in a few minutes or a couple hours. Okay, so the first 3 hours of smoking the ribs are over. So I now pulled them from the smoker. I'm going to wrap one of them in aluminum foil, how I normally do it. Today, I'm also going to try butcher paper, which I've never tried before. I'm going to try it, see how it comes out, and the difference between the aluminum foil and the butcher paper aluminum foil keeps all the moisture in there, but the downfall is the bark on the ribs kind of goes away, whereas the butcher paper lets some of the moisture out, evaporate, but keeps the bark on the ribs. So I'm going to show you how I wrap them. First one I'll do is with the aluminum foil. Gotta get my butter out. Butter over here. So what you're going to do is basically make a boat out of it. You're going to tense it. No matter which one you grab. So the first thing I do is put a couple scoops of butter in there. Helps keep with the flavors. Usually throw it right on top. Just like so. And then sort of kind of tense it. all the sides are pretty well sealed, so that way none of the liquid escapes. Now this next step is the preference. I actually use orange body armor to help kind of infuse a citrus flavor to it. So just enough. And then you want to seal that part in, just like so. And then put it right back on your grate. And that's the aluminum foil. Alright, so now done with the butter. We're gonna try the butcher paper. And this one's peach paper. I think I read that it's made from the pulp of peach. So that's how they make it. Try not to cut myself. That would be good. There we go. A little loud. Alright, now let's throw these in there on there. Probably should have sprayed them down before I put the lids on. There, so what I saw was they want to fold over and then fold these sides over. Just like that, how they do it. So then you're basically just going to roll it and over it. So then you throw that back on there. Then you'll put it back in the smoker for 2 more hours. Basically, you just let it go. Don't have to spritz it, don't have to barbecue sauce it. That's the last hour. So, then throw these back in. I'll see you in a couple hours. Okay, so the last 2 hours are over. As you see them coming out here. Now it's time to unwrap the one in the foil. Let's see if I can get it. There we go. And one in the butcher paper. This one I've never done before, so here's what it looks like. So first, I will do the foil one. Obviously, be careful opening it. Maybe the last thing coming out. Myself. Take it out. Because it is very tender. So they actually start coming apart. Well, I just put the moon foil off to the side. And juice it out. So I mean, it's, I don't know, really cool off enough now. Now for the butcher paper. Um, Definitely smells good. Alright, so the one on the left is the butcher paper. And the one on the right is the aluminum foil one. You can see a noticeable difference. Alright, so the next thing we are going to do, grab a mop or a brush, and a brush on some of the Kansas City style barbecue sauce onto it. I usually slop it on. Feel really good and thick on there. Get as much of it covered as you can. It is hot out, that's for sure. And then we're going to put it back in the smoker for another hour. And after that hour, it's time to eat. So I'm going to put this back in the smoker for about another hour, and then I'll be back to show you what the final product looks like. Alright, so the hour has passed. Ribs are good. They're done, ready to eat. The one on the left was the one that was wrapped in the butcher paper, and I could definitely tell the difference between that and the one that was wrapped in the foil. But I'm hungry. I'm ready to eat. Just wanted to show you guys one last time the finished product. So here it is. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. It'll help out your good friend Jimbo and King trying to get monetized, get 500 subscribers. I'll have all the links that they put in their videos as far as their merch store, donation station, all that stuff. But I will be back probably next Sunday and we'll have another video. Not sure what we'll cook up, but stick around next week. And till then,